So I don't know about y'all, but my stock portfolio is not looking hot these days, or even like the market in general.
Last
But
few days been hard.
yeah, it's been hard. But luckily, we have some exciting new IPOs that could be a good buy for long-term investors, or maybe even short-term, really depending on what you're looking into. A few of them have already announced. I think Instacart and ARM have already had their IPO, and
Yeah, I'm
Birkenstock
excited about Birkenstock.
bro, I love my Birkenstock. I don't know, like
keep going. What is it? What is it about them? They're not IPOing or they are?
they are IPOing.
Didn't they already have IPO? Like Burke's Group or whatever? BGI. What is it?
No, it's saying it's gearing up for roadshow for IPO, so it's not yet public. If that's what you're asking.
Yeah, that is what I was. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So let's go in alphabetical order, I guess. ARM was it a good idea for ARM to IPO?
ARM?
Would you? Yeah, like ARM Group. They make. Oh, sorry, I guess some background. They do chip designs. They don't make the chips themselves. They do the designs for ARM CPUs, which are in most phones, like iPhones license ARM's CPU design. The MacBooks now with the Apple Silicon are licensed using the ARM design. All Androids use ARM CPU. It's actually in a lot of places. But yeah, they just IPO'd. I think they had a bit of drama with the NVIDIA merger, takeover, but that didn't go through. So they're now just going out independent. But yeah, buy, sell.
Is that allowed? Like, what if like NVIDIA just buys their stock now that it's public?
Didn't some companies do that? Isn't NVIDIA one of them? Or I think Apple as well? Like they have a stake or something in ARM?
What would be the benefit? Like, why?
Yeah, I think Apple does actually have a stake in ARM.
Oh, right there. Apple provided a $3 billion investment equivalent to $7 million in 2022.
There you go.
Bro, that's peanuts.
That is peanuts.
Million? Yeah.
That's like pennies for Apple.
Yeah, it's like Apple looked in their pocket and like, oh shit, 7 million. Like,
that's angel investing.
There's a reason I think why, because Apple has a very interesting license with ARM. They don't have to pay them shit. Like they have a perpetual license to use the ARM architecture because they were one of the initial like investors.
That was probably part of the deal, part of the joint venture. Yeah,
and I think the same thing with NVIDIA in that they're one of the initial investors, and so they have a perpetual license. I'll have to double check with NVIDIA, but Apple definitely does. That's why it's used on Apple's chips.
Wow, that means Apple's like value has just gone up even more.
Yeah, that's crazy. And probably ARM was it was such a speculation not speculation, but it was hyped by so many people probably for that reason, because so many of the bigger companies are involved with them.
Right.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I guess their revenue model is essentially they're just licensing their chip design, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at this right here.
And so my question, wow. Okay.
That's insane.
Oh, it just goes past 2040, meaning like the deal itself goes for that long, but not the technology, right?
Deal for
right,
chip
like,
yeah.
Okay, that was a dumb question. But yeah, okay, that's fair. My question is just chip design. So I feel like the bread and butter or the secret sauce is not necessarily the chip design, but it's like what Taiwan does, which is chip manufacturing. Like that's where I'm not saying chip design's easy, but the complexity is in the secret sauce of like how to manufacture the chips, right?
But it looks like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing is involved with ARM. Look at this. So they've expressed interest in buying some shares as well. I wonder if they have some shares. So it doesn't sound like it's like competition for them. Is that what you're getting at?
There's no general public that's bought this, just companies.
They just IPO'd. Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both. If I were to look at a technology standpoint, like, yeah, part of it is because the chip design is like super simple and you can extend it. That's what Apple does with the M1 chips or the M line of chips. What else do they use on their iPhones? It's basically the same chip, just bigger or smaller depending on where they're using it. But it's ARM, but extended with their own stuff. I think same with NVIDIA, but I think most Android or like small like indie electronics, like I think MediaTek is a big one. Qualcomm, they actually just take the chip, they take the design as is, or they have a few modifications on top for whatever reason, and then that's part of the performance gains, and the other performance gain is definitely the manufacturing from TSMC.
Right.
They have a vested interest because like since ARM is independent from the manufacturing side, and TSMC is like one of the biggest
mainly manufacturers.
Yeah, right. That's why they have invested interest in keeping this like open for everyone to use, whereas like Intel is not really in that market. But
see, it's like
Lucas
it's-
statement right here.
For companies from the Taiwanese firm manufactures semiconductors for companies from Apple to Nvidia. They're often based on ARM architecture. Yeah, I think that's exactly the point, right? Like, this is in the best interest to take out Intel. It's in the best interest of those companies to be like, F you, we're just gonna put more research all together into ARM, and that way it benefits everybody on that front and not basically explodes our chip design.
Yeah.
Right? And since NVIDIA's bread and butter is GPUs, not like CPUs, I think, unless ARM
not
does GPUs as well.
It's AI accelerators, which are based off ARM design.
Oh, okay.
That's why NVIDIA's stock is so high. It's not because of GPU. I mean, yes, GPUs technically, but it's really because they're being used for AI training.
No, I know it's being used for AI training. That's why it's high. But they have a AI enhanced or AI specific GPUs that they're kind of releasing, and they're tailored for AI training and things along those lines. And I'm sure that design is probably proprietary, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
like Intel or somebody else would take it, right?
Costco selling gold bars. There was an ad.
What?
It
It was just on the right. Today, scroll up or down. It was on the screen. Costco selling gold bars, and they're selling out within hours.
That's
No way.
hilarious. That's what you noticed.
Right there.
Oh, right here. Oh, it's trending. It's trending, bro.
What?
Let's see. Oh, way to shift topics, eh?
I know. Like, we're talking about ARM.
man.
There's nothing to do with that. Costco selling gold bars? That's
Oh yeah, they
hilarious.
are. Wow, that's wow. Costco sells anything, eh?
I would buy Costco versus anybody else because you know it's going to be good quality.
Costco branded gold.
No, what do you mean? It's just gold.
I don't trust. If I showed you a gold bar, you'd be like, yeah, that's pure or not pure. And
Bro, you can buy
Well,
gold
yeah.
bars
You
from the
gotta
bank.
buy from. I wouldn't buy from the bank because it's just they put a premium on it. There are third party companies that do sell that have reputation. There is one in Canada that does it,
You could just get it from the gold, like the Canadian Mint.
Yeah.
or you can do that too. Yeah,
Just
but
get
don't
it
you pay a
directly from
premium? You
source.
pay a premium for that, no?
Not from the Mint itself, I think. Like, they're like the last in line kind of thing. I don't know, actually. So, I don't want to speak. Do your research, people.
Do we want to talk about gold investment today?
No.
No. Let's go back to
Though,
ARM.
I think if Supreme made Supreme plated gold,
yeah.
Oh, that actually.
that would take off. They could charge a premium of double and still make money.
yeah.
There you go, Supreme. I just give you another idea.
Okay, so we talked about a bit of ARM. I think in terms of investment, we didn't talk about like what the risk is, and I think is the risk are from two places. We discussed one, which is Intel, which isn't doing amazing right now, especially within this places ARM is like dominant in. There's another up and coming architecture that is a lot more open, but it's not ready for use. It's called RISC, RISC, and it's a lot more permissive. Maybe it's even like totally open source. None of the major chip manufacturers or people that use these chips are on or using RISC for anything production grade. But if it is improved enough, that is definitely something that can eat into ARM's profits. Because yeah, Intel or RISC.
Right. Who's implementing RISC? Like, who's designing it?
I have no idea. Let me just double check. I think it's an open standard though.
Okay. Because like, yeah, if because what I'm thinking is like incentives and like where the money's flowing. It seems like everyone's behind ARM right now, like based on the articles we just saw, right? NVIDIA, Apple, all these other Qualcomm, right? And so if they have a vested interest for it to succeed, they're kind of like, it's like, I remember hearing this somewhere on a podcast as well. They're saying the people that make the platform are the ones that succeed, right? Or the ones that made a lot of money. For example, the people that laid down the pipes for the internet, they made a lot of money. Not necessarily all the people that did out on top of it, even though they made a bunch of money as well. Like Facebook, obviously made insane amounts of money, but
Any network essentially.
yeah, network effects, right? But also Apple has them. They literally destroyed a decent chunk of their business model because they don't know the platform, right? They were able to turn off ads, and the way they got stricter on that front, right? And so sometimes when you don't control the platform, you can kind of go bust. So it's like, I think
Become a slave of the platform.
you become the slave of the platform. So you got to be very careful about that. And so that's what I think, like ARM and all these things is like, ARM is like like the underlying common denominator for all of these companies. And so they have a vested interest to keep it alive, so to speak. So I think that's why it'll be very powerful.
But can't they like, aren't they also so big that Apple can either like start their own, or like these companies, like if ARM does like one wrong move that just upsets them, they like,
Yeah, we
you know what I
talked about
mean?
this earlier.
Man-
They have a very they have a very like Apple itself has a very good license with ARM. Their ARM, like Apple is protected from ARM in that sense. For me personally, I think medium term this is actually a pretty good investment because all the places that ARM is in are growing sectors, right? Like laptops, not generally phones, but like small electronics, right? Smart
Internet of
electronics.
Things.
Yeah, all these markets that ARM, AI, all these things are growing sectors, and that's why I think medium term is a good buy.
Laundry notifying devices.
Yeah. Long term, I think there's a bit of risk, but medium term, I say this is a buy for me.
Yeah, I would agree. Obviously, I would have to look into kind of the specifics a little bit and dig into kind of their revenue model and find out where they're really making their money and how protected that is. But if they're licensing at a decent premium to what their cost is, and it's protected by a bunch of those companies, and all those companies have decent licensing agreements with ARM, then it just kind of seems like they're like printing money because what is their cost? It's just engineers, right? Because they're only designing, they're not even manufacturing. So it's kind of like the Coke model where they just make the syrup, you know? They don't even like bottle it. They don't do anything. They just make the powder that makes the actual Coke, right? And so for that reason, it's like they only have 2 plants. They're just like essentially printing money, right? And so if ARM is doing the same thing, that's pretty powerful. And I think it's a crazy business to look into.
Turan, final thoughts on ARM?
I don't know. I'll have to dive deeper into the actual business from an understanding standpoint. I'm not afraid to say that it's out of my circle of understanding. That's for sure. Like I'll have to spend time really understanding that industry, and I don't think it's something I'm interested in from that standpoint. And just doing a quick glance at the numbers, like it does look like from a free cash flow standpoint, they're not making any money, any free cash. They are generating revenues. They have cash on hand. Where's their debt at? So they have some liabilities, but it looks like it could be paid off with the cash that they have on hand. So from that standpoint, like a quick glance, it looks good, but definitely got to dive deeper and see what the long-term potentials are. What are the various revenue streams? What are the contracts that they have? How long are the contracts? Like Apple is going through 2040. That's the kind of things you like to see, I guess, as an investor, right? Contracts that are in place for 15, 20 years, not 1 or 2 years. So it's things like that, like looking at who they're partnered with, who their competition is, who else is out there that can take their spot. At this point, it doesn't look like anyone just because of the names that they're rolling with right now, that they're partnering with. So yeah, it looks solid. And then the moat looks like they have a strong moat just from that aspect. They have strong partners that they're working with who have been in business for so long. They dominate their own marketplaces, the partners that they're with, right? So the chances of like something like Apple failing is very low, right? Not that it can't happen. And so that would mean ARM is always going to be in business with Apple, unless there's a competitor out there that can replace ARM and who can better serve Apple. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I wouldn't dive into it too much myself, just because like I just have to put in a lot of work into it. But if I had the time, I would.
Gotcha. Ali, any final thoughts, or do you want to move on to?
I think let's move on. I think all my thoughts have been said.
All of the above. All of the above.
Your thought was gold was.
All right. We're gonna put ARM beneath our feet with our new pair of Birkenstocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smooth on the track like segue.
If you guys have been living under a shell or are not a dad like I am, Birkenstock they make sandals. I don't know what else to tell you. They make very good sandals from my opinion, but they are IPOing. This one they have not, unlike ARM, they have not IPO'd. This one I have mixed feelings. I'm definitely a fan of Birkenstock, but as an investment, I'm not sure. But quick glance here, or a quick show of hands, who owns Birkenstocks here?
I wouldn't mind.
My wife does.
It's been.
My wife
Yeah,
does as well.
Okay.
I've always wanted to, but I just never I'm not gonna go out of my way to get them.
There's gonna be a sale.
Okay.
There's got to be a sale for me to get one. I'll only get one if it's on sale. I'm not paying full price, and that's you can call me brown, you can call me Indian, but that's how I roll.
I own a pair. They are hella ugly. I 100% accept that, but they do really change your life. Like I don't think I've worn shoes in like 2 months.
Okay, so talk about that, Mo. Like, what makes it so appealing? I've heard that the sole over time, the sole, as you wear it, it sort of forms around your foot. Is that right?
Yeah. So they use like their pad, like the sole is cork, right? So
Yeah.
when you first buy it, it's like super hard and actually it's very uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. But within like, I'd say 2 weeks of like regular wear, it molds to your feet, right? So it's actually super comfortable to wear long term. And there's like sandals, right? So you can just slip them on and go out. They like the model I have, I've been told looks ugly, but the regular sandals look like regular sandals. They don't look bad. They don't look amazing. The other thing is I think they're actually like, they're well built, right? They're really built to last. And actually, we'll talk about this later, but it's part of it what makes me kind of hesitant about buying Birkenstock as a stock. But yeah, they're well built. They're comfortable to wear. They're kind of in style. I don't know, Gen Z like ugly shit. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I would say it's very popular among Gen Zs. That's what I noticed.
And
Yeah.
they're actually really high quality. So as a product, I'm a fan.
Okay.
It's an easy product to duplicate, but yeah, people still. It's Birkenstock does have its brand value, like people or brand name. Like people want that brand.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
Yeah, it's just like
But see, the problem I have is Birkenstock is kind of like a legacy brand now that has that value. But at the end of the day, with the hypermedia kind of environment we live in now, I think it can be unseated easily if the story behind another product and the quality is equivalent, right? If another company comes around, they just do a better job at marketing with an equivalent product, they can unseat them.
Yeah,
And that's my
already
kind of
past their hype phase. Like I think they were more when we were in university. I think that's
Yeah.
when they really like.
Yeah, people still talk about them. That's the
Yeah.
like we're talking about them. Like I know that if we were having a conversation about sandals amongst a group of friends, for some reason they'd come up and
Yeah,
people would be like, "Yo, Birkenstocks." They echo what Mo has said, right?
Like
But they're
Ali,
not
you
trending
deal.
like they used to. Like,
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask. You deal with like actual shoe stores, right? Like, what do you think their opinion would be between Birkenstocks and like Crocs, right? Or even slides? Like, what out of all those like different sandal brands, what has more staying power?
right now, if you're comparing it to like what like with roughly within the space, it's Ugg slippers and stuff for like women. Like that's like
Hmm.
the.
What about
Birkenstock is
Lululemon?
also difficult to get. Like my understanding is that like was one of our accounts does want them, but they don't hand them out as easily as some other brands. Like you just get like their account. But
Like, what do you
Ugg-
mean difficult to get? Like for a
Yeah, exactly. For like the store to actually distribute them. But Ugg is still like Ugg is still the brand. And I'm surprised that they've still made it this long.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised too. Like, damn, Uggs, really?
Yeah. Like they sell like that's his like, but yeah, Birkenstock has the brand like, but I think it's just one of the, they're not as hype. Like you'll see them, it's like yeah, if they're on sale for the guys side, I think if you see them like appears on sale, we'll pick them up. Women just do still I think seek them out. Like they're like, I want a pair of Birkenstock. They still have that name.
Like, what I'm hesitant, or like what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of competition getting into the sandal space, right? Like maybe the sandal market in general is heating up because of global warming. That's why brands are like moving. No, I'm serious.
you might be right.
Yeah, like if I off the top of my head, we already have slides, right? Adidas,
Crocs.
Nikes, yeah, Crocs, Yeezys. Kanye has been designing these ugly ass sandals for the last couple of years. What else are making?
He should make them out of titanium so they can go to space
Yeah, and back.
and back.
And back.
Sorry, and back.
But Birkenstocks has kind of paved their own. They're not. You wouldn't
Niche.
compare them to like Nike slides. You wouldn't compare them to
Yeah.
Crocs.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's debating should I get Crocs or should I get Birkenstock.
Yeah. It's like different styling completely. Like you think about where you would wear Crocs versus Birkenstock. Like I'm pretty sure maybe you would wear that to the beach. Maybe you would wear Birkenstocks to the beach, but you're probably better off wearing Crocs or slides to the beach, right? And then if you're going for a semi-casual event, maybe a get together in the summertime, maybe a patio, you're not going in Crocs. Or you're not. You're
Mo,
okay. Yeah, tell me more about your style, Mo.
Patios this summer.
Tell me about socks and Crocs.
Dude, Crocs, they have those like sneaker Yeezy looking Crocs out now, man.
I've seen they have the closed toe ones too now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but okay, fair. So okay. So looking at similar styles, then open toe and open toe.
I still would
Which
call
one would you
open
wear?
toe. It's still very different. Like you can
Yeah.
compare Birkenstock to UGG more, and then Crocs is more like the Nike and Adidas.
Like I've seen people wear Birkenstocks to work, you know?
Okay, there you go.
It's come to a place where you can kind of wear it to a workplace environment. So they've kind of
It's almost formal, right? Like especially the black ones, like they're pretty good looking. No, like it's the way it's made, it's the leather, the way the look is.
Yeah.
It's very minimalistic. It's very professional looking. It looks like it's good quality.
it
right?
could be kind of known as the premium sandal, if you will. The work, or what's the word I was looking for? The professional sandal. They've gotten to a market where you can wear the same, or they've branded it in a way that you can wear it to a professional environment and then you can wear it to the beach. And nobody's going to bat an eye across the board.
Yeah, that's well said.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Right?
So would you buy their stock?
No.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I just think there's like too many risks going like for investment, right? Their market is kind of constrained because of their brand, right? And you can only make so many variations of Birkenstock sandals.
Yeah. I go back to same thing. If I would buy one of their sandals, if the stock's on sale.
Well,
Yeah,
this is on sale. Would you buy this?
Oh yeah.
It's just like the thing with these types of products is you can't overcharge. Like they're not in the league of like a Prada, right? They're not making like insane amounts of money, insane amounts of like margins from these products, right? Like I'm sure Prada is expensive to make, but not that expensive. You know what I mean?
But how do you know their margins are not that
Because
big?
at the end of the day, it's still a bag.
Birkenstock or
No,
Prada?
with Birkenstock.
Oh, okay.
Birkenstock is in that weird position where it's like it's known as a quality brand but not a luxury brand.
Yeah,
right?
there
like
you
it's
go.
quality because the leather and the cork that they use and the construction is actually quality, and it does take
Bingo.
them money to make, right? But they can't overcharge. They can't overcharge because it's not seen as a luxury item. It's just seen as a quality item.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Well said, Mo. Like, for example, like Prada, it might cost them like $200, $300, maybe even $400 to make. But some of their bags are like $3K. You know, you can't.
30 to 20% margins is pretty damn good.
No, I bet. Like, so now do Prada. Figure out Prada's margins, right? The difference between luxury brands is they're working all off brand, and sure, there's a risk there if their brands like go away. But the thing with these luxury brands is like relative to how much it costs them to make, they can crazy amounts. Look at that. Is that their?
Jesus, that's a gross margin.
Yeah, okay.
Fun fact: like France's stock market, like a good chunk of it is all luxury brands.
Yeah. Yeah. So, see what I mean? The difference between that 20 to 30% versus freaking 80%? Like, there's no comparison. No comparison. And they can't do that because nobody in the right mind is going to buy Birkenstocks for like $3,000. Like, they're just not going to. That's why Yeezys, that has a different spin to it, right? They're known as a luxury brand. Not everybody has it. They have less of them, etc. Right? It's not made for the general public. It's like if you get this, you're telling the world I'm something, etc. Right? Like that's the difference.
Okay, so it looks like their profit margins were like 60% for Birkenstock.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Go ahead, Ali.
I wanted to ask Ali. Like, I guess this is really digging into the value of branding.
What's the
right?
question?
Oh no, just a comment.
Oh. Yeah. Again, I think they have a very strong brand, but so that's why I don't think they'll like trend again, right? Unless if they do like silly stuff, like I don't know if you guys see bows on social media and stuff like that. Unless if they do like sillier marketing stuff like that, but they won't go like viral, which is a good and a bad thing. It's like think about Apple, like they wouldn't really go viral other than like when you say viral, like they obviously go viral when they have their events and new phones, but that's standard. That's not really viral. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's standards for Apple world. So I don't really see any like Birkenstock do anything viral to like really get like large market share again. So they're still a strong brand. It's like Nike, Adidas. They're just now they just exist.
Chugging away. Yep.
But what's funny is I never knew about Birkenstock until this year.
Wow.
You've been
And that
living
could
under
just
a
be
rock.
me.
Yeah.
that is you.
Is
That
it just
is
me?
you. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like from when we were in university.
Yeah.
Tran,
Oh, wow.
Tran only
Okay,
deals
so-
in Bata.
Yeah, you already know. Yeah, that's literally what I have. I have 2 pairs of Bata right now. They're sandals. They're so good. They literally are the same as a Birkenstock in terms of
You've
how.
never tried Birkenstock. What do you mean?
He doesn't need to. He knows.
He's like my Honda Corolla, same as a Ferrari.
That should be our opener. These Batas are as good as any Birkenstock.
For those of you who don't know what Batas are, it's an Indian brand that is really popular. You could say it's the Birkenstock of India. How about that?
In fact, there's a Bata museum in Toronto.
There you go, man. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. It's historical art. It's historical art on your feet. Can Birkenstock say that? Nah, they can't. No, they can't.
What's the company called? Batas?
So the proper Indian way of saying is Bata. But
Bata.
if you probably tried reading it as a Canadian, Bata, you probably say Bata.
So,
That's if you're
Bata,
English.
please sponsor us. Thank you.
You look like the Indian version of Birkenstock.
There you go. Oh, why didn't I share my screen? Hold on. For anyone watching, I don't know why I tried explaining that instead of just sharing my screen.
That's
So
hilarious.
let's just do that. All right. So here it is. Okay, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to expose you to Bata. I don't know if they deliver worldwide. Oh, what is this? Come on. Where am I? Canada? Oh yeah, fair. That's a lot quicker. Bam. Look at. Oh yeah.
I think we have one at home.
Look at that! Look at that! Okay, not that. That's okay. No, these are not Batas. These are Batas.
Oh God! Please stop. This is terrible.
Look at that, man! Look at that clash right there. Oh, you're telling me these are not Birkenstocks?
Fair enough. They legit copied it. Leave it to India to just take a look and be like, all right, we're gonna do the same shit.
Yeah. So if you convert that to Canadian, that's probably like $25 Canadian.
Yeah, that's wild.
Look at that. That's Birkenstocks, guys. There you go.
There
So you go to
go.
India, you grab a pair of these, you bring it here, you take the label off, put Birkenstock on it, you got Birkenstocks.
They could probably do that for you too. Yeah. Oh man, it's too funny. All right, everyone. You guys know our thoughts about IPOs, ARM and Birkenstock. Let us know what you guys think. Please let us know what you guys enjoy, and yeah, take care until the next time.